but he should be ready by next week.
Week number 8, 4 games remaining on the schedule against all divisional teams. I mean, the tough part of the schedule is over with. What do you expect from the team from here on in until Thanksgiving Day?
Well, I wouldn't go as far as to say the tough part of the schedule is over. Every team in this league is very competitive, and it's easy to get your team ready to play against Notre Dame and against some teams that have great records and are really highly regarded. And the real job of a team and of a coach, I think, is to get them ready to play on nights like tonight when you're playing a team that's a good, hard-working team, but that has been down on their luck. Now, can we come out and play great football against them? Then I think we're going to have not an easy road at all for the rest of the way, but we're going to be competitive. If tonight we don't play really well and come out of here with a good victory, then we're going to have a battle uphill for the next 3 weeks. We've got 3 good teams in East Haven, who probably will be 6-2 after tonight. Hillhouse, who is an up-and-coming team, beat Guilford, beat North Haven. And then, of course, Guilford on Thanksgiving Day, who has a great team this year as well. So we got our work cut out for us, but you are correct. It's not Hamden, and it's not Fairfield Prep, and it's not West Haven, and it's not Notre Dame, and it's not Cheshire, and it's not those guys. But they're still good teams that we got to play real well against.
Are you happy to be home here at Strong Field tonight?
Yeah, I'm real happy to be home here. It's nice. We've been on the road for 2 weeks. Our kids play better here, although they play hard wherever they go. But they play better here. This is a big night for us. This is the last night that our seniors, not that they play here, of course, we'll be here on Thanksgiving, but, Strong Field is about playing under the lights and playing on a Friday night. And to our seniors, this is a very, very big night. So we're real excited about it.
What's a key for a victory for you this evening?
Well, we got to contain some good backs and not make any mistakes. I mean, we can't miss tackles and allow big plays. We can't allow big plays in the kicking game. We've got to play a complete football game, and I don't think we've done that all year. I don't think we've played a complete game on both sides of the ball. We've got to be on offense. We've got to be able to run the football, which we couldn't do last week. And when we're forced to throw the ball, we're not a great football team. But if we can run the ball, I think we're a very dominant football team. So that'll be the key, I think, to tonight.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck this evening.
My pleasure, guys. Thank you.
Steve Filippone. Tonight's opponent, North Haven High School, has been hit by the injury bug very hard this year. They're kind of like the walking wounded. Their roster consists of 13 seniors, 7 juniors, 18 sophomores, and 2 freshmen. And you might even see number 74, Randy Nicola, a guard, on the roster starting in the backfield this evening. It's been a tough year for injuries for the coach of North Haven, and we'll speak with Robert DeMeo coming up on the Tiger pregame show. Bob DeMeo, and Coach, you've been hit by the injury bug very hard this year. How have you coped with that?
Well, it hasn't been easy. In fact, we just had one of our starters, 2-way starters today that had 104 temperature, and he's basically, we're doing some switching around on the bus coming up here. So we've been hit. Right now we have 5 2-way starters out, and they're in skilled positions. So we've been trying to cope, but obviously by our record, not too well.
It's got to be tough for a coach to keep a team up like this, and being hit by the injuries and not knowing what player is going to start at what position from week to week.
Yeah, well, we have about 7 sophomores who are actually on the field, either both offensively and defensively, and they normally, would get a year of like JV play or see some limited varsity experience, but they're getting thrown right to the wolves, and they basically, our kids are trying to improve, and we're trying to do the best we can, but it's very difficult.
How would you assess tonight's ball game? What's the key for North Haven victory tonight?
Well, I think the key is that we're going to have to control the ball offensively to some degree. Our defense has not been able to keep other teams off the board at all, and so we've got to take some time off the clock and attempt to basically stop the big play. Our biggest problem defensively has been stopping the big play, and they have big play people. The Noble kid particularly can break it from any point on the field. So we're going to try to stop that. We have not done a good job in previous games.
Thank you very much, Coach, and good luck this evening.
Okay, thank you.
Said this is the last home game under the lights this year for 1996. It's a cool night. The wind is coming off the water. Wind chill factor has got to be about 35 degrees. The actual temperature when we came out to the ballpark here earlier today was 41 degrees, and that was about an hour and a half ago. Look for a good ball game from both ball clubs. Now we'll throw it back upstairs to Kent and Frank. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, hello.
What they should do one time, get a big sheet of rubber, put it as a sign.
Good evening for Madison Public Television and Daniel Hand High School Tiger football. This is Kent Sprague with Frank Tordoff, Gabe Bostamo down on the field, Paul Sprague on the camera to begin with, and Steve Fust will be on the camera later. This is game number 8 of the 1996 season. Daniel Hand High School playing North Haven at Strong Field in Madison on the 1st of November 1996. North Haven comes into this game 1-6. Hand comes in at 3-3-1. And Frank, we don't really know too much about North Haven. Any comments that you have before we get underway here?
Well, the only comments, Gabe did get some info from the coach, and that'll be on the pre-tape here. But they've had a lot of injuries this year too, and you can really see that when they first came out on the field with their captains, because they had 3 people on the field and only 1 dressed. So a couple of captains obviously are injured out there. They've got a 1-6 record on the season. The only win has been to Wilbur Cross, I believe. So they've lost and lost substantially most of the year. A lot of young players going to be out there for them this year. You got to say it's a rebuilding and an overcome the injury type of year. Don't know how it's going to affect Hand though.
And Hand has some injuries too. Last week against Notre Dame West Haven, Scott Roberts was hurt playing quarterback, and he is not in uniform tonight. So he will be out tonight's game. Viral Kishwala, number 76, tackle, coming back off a broken leg. He was in uniform last week, did not play. We don't know if he'll see any action. If he does, it'll be limited.
That's true. That's true.
So we will have the national anthem and be ready for this game very shortly. As we are about ready to begin this game, North Haven will kick off to Hand. We will add that Madison Public Television is loaning this tape to North Haven's public access station, so they will show it in North Haven too. We'll try to get some of their players. The kick fielded by Jeremy Friedler at about the 16, swinging to the right side. He's trying to turn the corner, but he can't make the corner. Push out of bounds about the 30.
Nice look. Hand was trying to set up a wall on the right-hand side that time, as is quite often the case, but wasn't able to really quite get the corner and have it set up the right way. Nice deep kick, though, by North Haven's punter that time. North Haven's punter is Angelo Romano. He's only a sophomore at 5'10", 180 pounds.
Daniel Hand with the ball first at the 30-yard line. In the backfield for Hand, at quarterback is number 11, Ryan Milligan. At fullback is Jeff Monroe. At tailback is Daryl Noble, and there's a flag before the first play gets started.
Yeah, that was definitely an offside early commit out there by Vesper. Well, let's give it a right. Try to get Vespazano of North Haven. He's just a little over anxious out there, and went with the initial hut. Now 5 free yards for Hand.
North Haven has some big boys in the middle of their line there, Frank. Looks like a good team, and this looks like Hand jumps offside, so they're going to go back where they started.
That was King Conley down there. He had the man just opposite Vesperano as the guy who jumped first on that first attempt, and then Ryan King Conley trying to get the edge on him that time.
We'll get this game started pretty soon here.
So I'll practice right now.
Tim Sullivan, motion left, and handed off to Daryl Noble up the right side and across the 35 at about a 6-yard gain.
Well, very classic first move for him off the right side. And right into the teeth of that defense down there. We mentioned Vespasiano down there, and number 50, who's, we should give him a King Conley too. Mark Morello is one of the team captains. He's 330 pounds, number 50, nose tackle.
Daryl Noble for about 6 yards, and that's Jeff Monroe carrying the ball on second down, and he takes it to the 38. And it's going to be 3rd down and 2 for hand. They need to get to the 40. We might mention Daryl Noble has over 700 yards, 730, something like that,
That's
Frank.
right.
Trying to get 1,000 yards rushing this season.
And that'll be his 2nd year in a row, which is an absolutely outstanding feat. It's already over 1,000 all-purpose yards in a year.
Pitch wide to Daryl Noble, and he brings it back. 1st down, and he's still going to about the 48, 49.
What a nice move right out there. Taking it into the left and then bringing it back out to the right. Nice move, about a dozen yards on that.
They're going to give him about, I'd say about 10 yards on that run.
10 yards, oh, they stopped him a little early.
Yeah,
Well,
they marked it at the 48, but a 1st down for hand.
that's the important part.
We're early in the game, hand's first possession, no score yet against North Haven. And Daryl Noble takes it over the left side, crosses midfield, gains about 5.
Well, they're certainly giving the ball to Daryl there. He's had it all the plays but one so far. Trying to take it right to the teeth of the North Haven defense. Have another big young man down there, Tony Maas. He's 215, number 77.
Over the ball at center for hand is number 75, Chad Taylor. Handed off to the fullback, Monroe. And Monroe is stopped after a short gain, about a 2-yard gain across the 45.
Hand's line is getting a reasonable surge immediately, but it's being countered with some help from the linebackers from North Haven down there.
That's going to bring up 3rd and almost 4 yards to go.
Hand's got to kind of drive their blocks a little bit sideways and try to open up a little bit.
Greg Walby is split wide to the left, and the slot right is Dan Anderson. And it's handed off up the
Nice.
middle, Jeff Monroe, and he's got a 1st down, clear down to the 30. That's the fullback carrying right up the middle behind the blocking of center, Chad Taylor. Right guard is Ryan Connolly.
What a nice block by Anderson coming out and taking off that linebacker, the inside linebacker on the right side for Hand. Did a great job pulling and taking him out of the play.
Matt Mesa is the right guard. Ryan Connolly is the right tackle. And that's a keeper by the quarterback, Ryan Milligan, who turns the corner, pushed out of bounds near the 20.
Well,
That's close to a 1st down.
yeah, should be another one for Ryan. Good play. That keeper worked well, man. Oh, boy, oh
They're
boy.
still looking at it. Now they're going to measure.
I think they're kind of stingy on a couple of those marks so far. I'm amazed. You could hear Gabe down there, everybody. Gabe's on the field with his remote. He's going to be walking up and down right as close to the play as he can get. Might even get a picture of that handsome devil on the camera down there, that Gabe. He's such a handsome guy.
Okay, Frank, I tell you, I'm standing right here. It's going to be, oh, I don't know. That's awful close. It's going to be about a half-inch short for the 1st down. How's that sound for you? Half-inch.
Gabe is standing about 5 feet away, and he can't figure out if that's a 1st down.
Hey, get out of my chronometer, I guess, by the sounds of it. That's really getting it up close and personal, I'd say.
We know Gabe is a stickler for detail because he told us before the game his thermometer at home read 41.2 degrees.
The evening gets a little bit further. It's going to get a little colder, That wind is starting to kick up off the water. You can take a look at the American flag up there. It's starting to blow pretty good.
Yeah, that's easy for you to say down there on the ground.
2nd down and very short, just outside the 20 for hand. And it's going to be run up the middle. Daryl Noble breaks through around the right side. Got a 1st down, turn down to the 5. That'll bring up 1st and goal for hand near the 5-yard line.
Nice move again. Daryl's really got those first few steps very, very quick, and he's learned to actually come at the line, I don't know if you've noticed it, Kent, but at about 75%, you know, after the first couple of quick steps, he's about 75%. That gives him another gear to go into as he comes up on players. It's working very effectively for
First
him.
and goal at the 5-yard line. Power I for Hand. Dan Anderson is in the backfield for blocking. And Noble tries to take it to the right and gains very little.
Nicely played out there by North Haven. Hand really is trying that. Very often that's the play you'll see. So a well-scouted team, or a team that goes out and scouts well, let's say, would know that would really be the call that Hand's going to pull in a position like that. And it was played very, very well out there by the North Haven crew.
They gave Darrell Noble a 1-yard gain. Second down and goal at about the 3. Pitch wide this time to
There it is.
Mark Bergami into the end zone following the blocking. And that's Matt Mesa and Jeff Monroe right ahead of the ball carrier.
As a fullback, Monroe coming out of there, able to lead very, very well, being as quick as he is. Wallbanger getting ready to hit it.
Greg Walby for the conversion, and the holder is Hunter Morris.
Bang!
Good kick. 7-0. Hand leads with 8:03 left first quarter.
Had a lot of distance on that kick. Very, very well done. Did have a little bit of a hook on it. Have to watch that in case it becomes necessary later on. As we know, Greg has already hit a 40-yarder for a field goal this year. Gabe, what we'd like to do, can you describe what happened on the blocking scheme that time? Hand looked really good on that. Well, I guess not.
Can't hear us.
Okay, who do we have in the backfield out here for North Haven?
Well, they got 3 men dropped deep to receive the kickoff by Greg Walby, number 5 for Hand. A good return back up across the 40.
Sean Manley getting in on that tackle.
That took a nice hop for North Haven. It was not hard to field at all.
It certainly was. Brian DeConcilius down there for Hand. Didn't pick up the number of the young man who picked it up and didn't make the run back for North Haven.
North Haven's first possession, taking over at the 44. Hand, with their first possession of the game, took it right down the field and scored. So Hand leads 7-0, just inside of 8 minutes left first quarter.
Good field position for the North Haven Indians.
North Haven has the men split wide each side, and they're going to run to the near side and a tackle right near the line of scrimmage.
Beautifully done.
Who made that initial hit?
Oh, Andy Elting, it looked like.
Andy Elting, 68.
Oh, and he's in a new position tonight because he normally is not in a linebacker, and I believe that's where he came from that time.
That's a 1-yard gain. In for a Hand in the middle of the line are 64 and 52. That's Ryan Connolly and co-captain Matt Mesa. On either side of him are Zach Suppes, 82, and 28 is Colin Johnson.
That's a really big front line on offense down there for North Haven.
Misdirection, pass across the middle, intercepted by Tim Sullivan.
Oh, the sultry
Sullivan.
Sullivan.
At about the 40, and he's not going very far, but he's cut down at about the 45.
Well, he covered a lot of ground. He just went sideways with it.
North Haven tried to pass right across the middle. There were 2 defenders there. The short man, Tim Sullivan, cut in front of the receiver and picked it off.
You know, that was one of those plays that really worked just the way it's drawn up on the board offensively, because the tight end got down there very, very quickly, and it was a nice jump pass by Clark, the quarterback, but my golly, was Sully in there quickly on that.
And with the ball back at the 45, and here comes Darrell Noble, and Noble's going to try to outrun.
Oh, look at that
cut, makes a cut, falls down, but he's going to gain about 15 yards.
Now, we'll give him a conservative, it's not conservative, it's about 15 yards.
A 15-yard game by Daryl Noble, who looked like he was going to swing it wide, but then he cut back.
You know, there'll be a little bit of dew down on the ground right now because of the humidity and all that, but not much, but a little bit to make it slick until they really learn how to plant their feet.
James Kingsley, a tight end for Hand.
Again, slotted is Anderson. Nice looking play.
In the slot, and run up the middle, but Jeff Monroe, big hole, and Jeff Monroe heads for the end zone. He's going to be caught from behind inside the 10. Jeff Monroe takes it to about the 7.
Oh, what a nice move. Yeah, 44 was able to run him down. His name is De Magistris. Too bad we didn't get some of these names read to us ahead of time, but Ben De Magistris for North Haven. He's only a sophomore, too. He did a nice job running him down.
Big Matt DeConcilius is in at left tackle for Hand. He's number 74. Run by Jeff Monroe again up the middle across the 5 to about the 4.
Why not? Give it right back to him. Let him go. King Conley throwing a nice block off his position at tackle there. See, we're giving the rest of the linemen their due up there so far, Ken. Can't remember. Who else we have up there? Oh, we got...
we got Matt DeConcilius, number 70 is Drew, Ed Drew.
Yep,
On the
Eddie
left side of the
Drew,
line.
the redhead.
And they're going to run right the middle by Dan Anderson all the way into the end zone. Touchdown Hand. Dan Anderson from fullback position.
Let's go down to the field. And Gabe, can you describe that run and what you saw for us?
Frank, I tell you, Hand is controlling the offensive line here against North Haven. But don't forget, North Haven is a young ball club. They're starting secondary are all sophomores, and Ben DeMasters has made that saving tackle on Jeff Monroe, number 44. He's only 5'10", 140-pounder, and he's a sophomore also. Take it back upstairs as Greg Wildley gets ready to kick the extra point, and it's good. It's 14-0 with 5:33 left to go in the first quarter. And North Haven will get the ball back. Back up to you guys.
Hey, Chris Gavin was the long snapper. Hunter Morris was the placing it down, and Greg Walby puts it through for the second time.
We ought to make a note right now. Oh. How about that? All right, what I was going to say is that if you, as you called it, Hunter Morris holding on that long snap, and that's because obviously normally you put your second quarterback in, who's normally Scotty the Grocery Man Roberts, but that not being the case because of his injury, you got to start to get Hunter some of his reps out there, and that's the way to do it. Get him in the flow of the game, have him feel good about himself. Good job by Hunter on the placement.
And he's the backup quarterback tonight with Scott Roberts out.
And only a sophomore.
It's a high and long.
Oh, what a kick, nice.
He'll be fielded on the fly at
On the
about
ball
the 6
down, that's
drop.
alive.
Picked up across the 10, and the man is going to be tackled short of the 20.
Glass is the one they were trying to throw the ball to, too, in that interception back then. But he's a pretty good-looking boy, too, as a junior. 6'1", 180. He looks big in the 185 in the pads, excuse me.
North Haven with their second possession starting at about the 17. Their first possession ended in an interception, and Hand took it down and scored again. So it's 14-0 with 5:27 left, first quarter.
Well, we haven't really had a chance to see North Haven's offense take hold yet. Again, that's Sean Clark is the quarterback.
Greg Welby is covering a wide receiver. It's run off to the right side of the line, and he's going to make a yard at most.
Yeah,
Black jerseys in there. Matt Mesa on the bottom of the tackle.
Zuppies was in on that.
Ryan Connolly. James Kingsley.
Jimmy the younger Kingsley. I didn't say the smarter on that, you understand. I just said the younger.
Brian DeConcilius into the game, replacing Jeff Monroe for this play.
Of course, that's not to say that Jimmy the elder is smarter either, for that matter.
Second down and 8 for North Haven. They have a man split very wide to the left. And it's pitched. Ooh. It's going to be a sweep coming this way, and a little room to run, not much. closed pretty quickly.
Nicely strung out there. Again, Andy Alting doing a terrific job coming across.
DeConcilius over there on
Yep.
that tackle. Brian DeConcilius.
Brian DeConcilius, yeah.
And coming up to lend support is Josh Stillwell from the deep secondary.
Both of those young men you just mentioned, the sophomores, Brian DeConcilius and Josh Stillwell.
Josh Stillwell is starting safety in the middle of the field. He's the last line of defense for Hand tonight. Third down about 4 for North Haven. It's going to be run up the middle. The ball is
Ball's
loose on
down.
the ground, and Hand may have it.
Yes. According to Gabe, he had a good view of it from right down there in the scrimmage line. Yeah, how about that?
With that ball
Who
is
picked it
number
up?
28, Colin Johnson.
Oh, Colin Johnson. Colin, me boy, what a great job.
Colin Johnson protects that corner over there for Hand, and the ball was not handled cleanly in the backfield by North Haven. They were not going to get a first down there anyhow, and which would have brought up a fourth down play deep in their own territory.
Okay, what's say, Gabe? You had something to say down there?
Frank, on that exchange, no one really had the ball at all. The ball just fell right to the ground as Ryan Milligan pitches off to Noble. He picks up a few yards, and he's tackled by co-captain Mike Mirola. Back up to you guys.
Okay, Daryl Noble carries again, and he takes it down to about the 13.
Boy, nice job. Darryl really seems to have his feet under him. Oh, we have a flag down. I must have been, yep, it's a motion on hand.
I was looking for the sticks to be moved, but they saw the flag before I did.
Holding, ooh. Uh-oh. The doormat, trying to make sure he wasn't a doormat. Matt, baby. That'll be good for a couple of hit-ems, I think, and
A couple of extra sprints
yeah,
in
you bet.
practice this week.
Yep. That's okay. Matt won't mind. He loves it.
A repeat of first down. Now it's first and 20 for Hand.
Matt does extra sprints anyway. He loves it. Ooh.
Ryan
Ooh.
Milligan
Ah.
and defensive man number 35 for North Haven is in on that play. Very good defensive play.
Mike Kenniston for North Haven, a junior at 5'9", 175, really knifed through there. Terrific defensive play. Hand was not able to get the offense cooking on that one, so it'll be second down and a bunch.
Milligan rolled left, but the defensive man fought off the block and made the tackle.
Oh, it's about 27 first and second down and 27 for first down. Sounds like an aerial might be due.
Greg Walby getting single coverage on the near side, and he's
Going all the way.
For Sullivan, overthrown, incomplete pass.
Yeah, everybody was looking for Walby to get it on a long sprint down there, but his little button hook to Matt Sullivan didn't work.
Well, Walby cleared out and went deep, and Sullivan came in under it, but the pass was overthrown. Third down and very long for Hand.
Chad Taylor gets and dresses that ball. What a great job he's done all year. They're down in a bunch. Woo!
Sullivan motion again over to this side where Walby is too. They're looking at so long to Greg Walby.
Oh, what a shame.
Incomplete, out of bounds. He almost caught it, but it
man.
would have been incomplete anyhow. He was out of bounds. Fourth and long coming up.
Just a little bit too long on that side. Too bad. However, obviously, North Haven able to keep Hand that time after the turnover due to the fumble. And although there'll be a punt, that'll give a good chance to North Haven to get ready to bring it back.
Mike Hominick in punt formation. He'll hit it from near midfield.
He's been hitting them well.
And it's a high punt. Hit and roll, and it's down by Hand at about the 17.
That was starting to take a nice North Haven bounce on there. But
Chris Gavin, the center, is down there to make sure it didn't roll backwards any further.
now again, he was coming from his long snapper position down there. Nice coverage, good effort.
North Haven has not gotten the ball out of their own end of the field on offense yet, and they're starting fairly deep again. Ball is about the 17. We have 2:47 left in the first quarter. Hand leading 14-0. Handed off to the right side, and he's not going to gain more than a yard there. Colin Johnson and
First contact.
Stuppies is in on that tackle.
Yeah. Helped out a little bit by Jimmy Kingsley.
Gain of about a yard. Second and 9, and North Haven splits 2 men to the left and 1 to the right on this offensive set.
22 is Giddings, one of the twins that Gabe was talking about, but
Run up the middle and gains maybe 2 or 3.
again, good stop by Hand overall, but still made 4 or 5 yards out of that. They were tough yards.
Third down and about between 4 and 5 to go.
Mountain Man Monroe comes out, give him a little breather, anticipating maybe if we get a hold here that he'll have a chance to go back in on offense, but
Sean Manley is in there, another sophomore playing in the line.
one of the sophomores playing for Hand, as a matter of fact.
Quarterback is hands it off and run this direction.
First
and
down.
that's going to be a first down for North Haven, their first one of the game, down to the 30.
That was well blocked. They did a nice blocking job on that, did the offensive line. And it's a little different look on that play. It took Hand a little bit flat-footed, I think.
And North Haven will probably look like a different offensive team when they get in better field position.
I would think so. Very, very conservative down there.
First down for North Haven. It's handed off to the first man, and he's not going to get much. Stacked up right near the 30.
King Congley on that. Is not driving him back, and then helped by Kingsley as well.
Kingsley and Connolly, they've been in on tackles together all season.
They sure have. Doing a fabulous job out there. We'll be seeing Kingsley back again. Youngo will be back one more year after this.
Second down and a little over 10 to go. It's handed on the backfield, and man is in trouble. Maybe gains a yard, and that may be the last play of the quarter. We're down to about 20 seconds and running.
Zach Suppies is going to enjoy seeing that one over again. When they do the team photos, the team run-throughs of the tape, see how he got faked out a little bit that time. And I know that the words and the language, they'll be talking at the meeting about maybe picking up a piece of apparel and
we're down to 2 seconds and running, so I don't think they're going to get
No,
the play off.
they'll switch it
That's
around.
the end of the first quarter. Hand leads 14-0 after the first 12 minutes of play in this game between Daniel Hand High School and North Haven High School. We begin quarter number 2 at about the 31.
Whoa.
Quarterback still got it, being chased by Connolly, but
Ball's down.
ball's on
Ball's
the ground. And it looks like it's covered by Hand at about the 41.
The quarterback was starting to shift the ball from one hand to the other just as he got hit first, and the ball went squirting right out of his hands. He didn't have a good strong control of the ball, just catching him as he was shifting it.
I didn't see who recovered that, but Mark Bergami was right there. Was he the one that came up with the ball?
I don't know if he got there initially, but boy, he did a nice job putting it away.
Hand with the ball back at the 41. And Darrell Noble cuts it back, and a good gain. It gains about 8 or 9.
What a quick move going up there. Really seeing the field well down there.
Noble kind of cruises until he sees the hole and then turns it up a notch.
That's something that it always takes a long time for a young man to identify with, to make that sort of adjustment. And many times it doesn't even happen until they're in college at some level. Darrell's doing a great job.
He gained about 8 yards, second and 2. There's Noble again, and Noble still got the ball. First down across the 30.
That's what you call slithering, I think.
Looked like he wasn't going to get anything.
It sure didn't.
And we welcome Steve Fust on the camera for the second quarter. He comes out of the heated press box with his hands nice and warm.
Yes, yes. He probably had a hamburger down there, too.
First down for Hand.
French toast or something.
Hand it off to Anderson, and Anderson refuses to go down at first.
I love it.
He was hit behind the line of scrimmage, but did not go down, and made a second lunge, brought it back to the line of scrimmage.
Tony Mass from North Haven took him and wrapped him right around the ankles, but couldn't bring him down at that without any leverage. And Anderson almost was able to break loose.
No gain. Good defensive play by North Haven. Plugged that gap very nicely. Motion man is Tim Sullivan. Ryan Milligan rolling that way. The man wide open over there. Walby in and out of his hands. Incomplete.
What a shame, he was wide open out there, but not quite able to pull it in.
That may have been one of those plays where the hands were a little cold.
Could be, could very well be. And it could have been that way on the quarterback too. His hands might have just not able to feel the ball right for a pass at this stage of the game.
3rd and 10 for Hand. Third down 10. Tim Sullivan split wide right. Greg Welby to the left. And Milligan looking to throw long across the middle there, aiming for Walby, but good defensive play there in the secondary. Bring up 4th and long.
Actually, I think Walby was the one making a good defensive play. The ball, he wasn't going to be able to catch it, but he could get enough on it so that the defender for North Haven couldn't have it.
3 plays from the 30 has gained nothing on this series of downs.
Oh, and this is a tweener, too. Do you punt it or do you go for it? Well, you're really not going to gain anything if you punt it. So you might as well just try to chew up some yardage.
This will probably be a pass play also. And they're going to go long, and there's Sullivan down there. That was a good pass. Tim Sullivan could not catch it, so North Haven takes over on down. That ball was laid right in, though. Good pass by Ryan Milligan.
Sully just had to look over his head a little bit, and that must have just thrown the perspective off. But it came right through his arms.
North Haven with the ball back at the 30.
Taking it over on downs.
We have 10 minutes left before the half. And it's going to be a pass play to the left side. Man receives, got one blocker over there. Now the black shirts catch up with the play. Gains about 4.
Well, Clark did a nice job on that. Get the ball right over there, but unfortunately, hand for the North Haven team, the hand closed very, very quickly. The receiver on that, was that number 83? Did you get it? I think it was.
Did not get the number for North Haven there on that one.
I think it was Adam Glass, but I'm not sure.
Gained about 4 yards on the first completion by North Haven in this game. It's run to the left. A good cut back and got a first down over on the far sideline, clear up to the 45.
We got a flag
in late, right near the tackle.
Yeah, that might be a face mask type of thing or something, but we'll see. Several hand tacklers had an opportunity to bring him down that time, but they did not do it.
You're exactly right, Frank. Face mask call against hand, so that will take it down the field for North Haven.
Is it 5 or is it 15? It's 15. Whoa. Now that's the kind of thing right there. That's 15 yards of offense, no matter how you get it. And any coach will take them that way.
North Haven across midfield for the first time in the game.
Yes, inside the 40, as a matter of fact.
Now we may see them open up their offense a little bit more. Run to the right this time. Defensive man there is Mark Bergami, who makes the tackle, carried forward for maybe 4 yards.
Nice job by Mark. What you saw him do is he came in and turned the runner inside. He did help make the tackle, but he did not let him swing to the outside. Kept it contained very nicely by Mark.
That was almost a 5-yard gain where they spotted the ball at the 35. We have 8.5 minutes left before the half.
There's some momentum building here.
This is North Haven's first sustained drive, and that play is not going anywhere. Stopped right near the line of scrimmage, met by Ryan Connolly.
Ryan Conley did a good job. Doormat was there as well. Doormat DeConcilius, the big D.
3rd and 5.
Hey, Gabe, can you tell what seems to be working right now? A lot of momentum starting to build for North Haven.
And Frank, do you know?
That penalty helped them a little bit, but it seems like they're trying to keep the ball on the ground, have a ground attack here. The quarterback seems to be having a problem holding on to the ball. I heard him saying that it's slipping out of his hand. That's because the ball in his hands are cold and the leather is hard to throw. That's going to make it 4th down and probably about 5 and no gain. Hands digging in, and the North Haven, if they want to mount something, they're going to have to get on the board here with 7 minutes to go in the second half to halftime. They're going to have to put something on the board here. We'll throw it back up to you guys.
That tackle was by James Kingsley. And Frank, I noticed for the first series since he broke his leg, Vero Kishwala is in there in the middle of the line. Number 76 for Hands. Good to see him back on the field.
You bet. He's an outstanding young man. We call him Special K for many reasons.
Complete pass to the far sideline, and he's got the first down across the 30.
Outstanding. Outstanding offensive play right there. Yeah, it's good to see Special K get back in there. Did a great job his sophomore year. Now he's a junior. Everybody expects a lot from him. And then to have that broken foot, I know he was very upset over that. Matter of fact, didn't even want to tell anybody, if I remember.
He played almost a quarter after he'd broken a bone in his foot. But he was a two-way starter earlier in the season, so it's good to see him back in the lineup. First down for North Haven. That was a good pass play. They're looking for another pass play. Going long. It's incomplete with Tim Sullivan covering closely on the far sideline.
Real close coverage by Timmy out there, and you can see him as long as he keeps looking for that and didn't reach out and try to push off. Great positioning.
The receiver over there was number 83 for North Haven.
Yeah, he's really their good go-to guy down there, Adam Glaze. We've called him a couple times. He's a junior, 6'1", 185.
And he's on the left side again, and North Haven comes out with 2 receivers on the right side. But they're going to run up the middle. A little bit of yardage, maybe 3. James Kingsley, Andy Elting off of the bottom of the tackle.
Nice. Like seeing and hearing those names in there, the Eltings, the Drews, all these boys coming through for us.
Third down and 7 for North Haven. They have their 2 receivers to the far side, and it's a run to the left side and a pretty good corner over there. There's a flag in late.
But that flag could be any place, or come from anything. Normally you might think of it as being a clip or a holding
Call
offense.
against North Haven. That one will come back, and that was a pretty good running play on the left side of the field.
Yeah, it really was. That was going to make the first down, I believe. But I was hoping it wasn't going to be a face mask again, because you do see the face mask call come out that way too.
I noticed that they got Vero Kishwala in the game, got his feet wet, and only left him in for 1 series. So he probably will not play a lot, but it's good to see that he's able to play again.
Yeah, that's right. Saw the coach go over and talk to him a little bit. So, probably say, hey, how's it feel? This kind of cold weather, with a break, you're going to feel that in the break. No question about it.
3rd and 9 for North Haven at about the 28. 5.5 minutes left before the half. And this is their first scoring threat of the game. Looks like a pass play. Looks like they're going to go along with it, and it's going to be overthrown, and good coverage down by near the end zone by T.J. Naylor.
Nice job. He did. He's really, we talked about it last week after the Notre Dame, during the Notre Dame game, how he has really matured. Again, he's a sophomore, but very, very mature coming at this stage of the season. And you could tell the naivety early on in the season. So we'd love to see a young man develop like that.
That brings up 4th down and 9 for North Haven with a timeout. This is a big play coming up for North Haven. It's 4th and 9. And their first scoring opportunity in this game.
Oh, gonna go quick.
Pass to the near sideline. It's caught it near the
Oh, my goodness!
And there's a flag down.
That was a holding, I think. I think it's going to be an offensive holding after the lateral.
That's the old hook and liner.
Yes! What a play!
Completed pass, juggled pass, but he caught it and then
And
he
may have been a
lateraled
little
back.
bit forward, too. Wonder if he caught it forward. Oh, yeah.
That's a forward lateral.
Yep. Yep. He did. He was, when he let the ball go, he was leading the runner that he was feeding, and it actually was a forward pass. What a great play, though.
So
Good execution, except it comes back.
Unfortunately for North Haven, that's a loss of down.
Yep.
And Hand will take over. But an excellent try and a little imagination out there
Very
on
good.
offense.
Got to hand it to him on that. Hand it to the coach, hand it to the players for executing it. Oh, we got another flag.
Oh, we got another flag. I think that one is,
Yeah.
if somebody said something they shouldn't have
Yeah,
there
yeah,
on the
that's
North
too
Haven
bad.
side.
Well, I can understand they're being.
It'll be hand ball at the 44-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, you kind of hate to see that, but you can understand the disappointment. Oh,
First down for Hand. We have 5:10 left before the half. Pitch to Darrell Noble on the right side, cuts it back now, and there's a flag down. Flag down in Hand's backfield, and Noble makes about 12 yards.
yeah,
That will probably be an illegal block against Hand.
yeah. Ryan Conley calling that. I mean, he may have even been the perpetrator on that as he stood back and tried to negotiate with the referee a little bit, but
A holding call against Hand.
no negotiations.
Brings back a very nice dancing move
Yes.
by Darrell Noble.
Of course, if the hold wasn't there, maybe he would have been taken
That's
in the
right. He may have
background.
been tackled short of that
that's
if
what
they
that's
hadn't had a
all.
holding call.
By the way, I noticed that Ryan Supernaut was in as a flanker that time, Kent, right in front of us. And Ryan's a sophomore. He's a big young man, 6'3", 175 pounds. Very good athlete.
He's wearing number 80. First down repeated, 1st and 25 now. Milligan rolling, and he's going to try to turn the corner. Gets a little yardage, swings it up across the 35.
Well, made back most of the penalty, but not all of it. Okay.
Back to about the 37.
Well, we give that about 7 or 8 for Ryan. Yeah. Unofficial, anyway.
About 8 yards is what they
Okay.
gave him. That makes it a little bit more makeable for Hand. 2nd and about 17. Milligan rolling, looking
Yes.
to throw. Man, wide open over there. Greg Walby. And Walby trying to turn the corner. He's going to be short of a first down, but he's got good yardage.
Ryan Noble completes it back.
He's going to be about 3 yards short of a first down.
50-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and 4.
3rd down now and a short 4 yards to go. So they've
Well,
made up quite a bit of that
Yes.
25 that they had to go.
good
for a
job. I think that's the first completed pass in the night.
Might be.
I think I have, again, unofficially 5 pass attempts and only 1 completion so far.
Ball's right on the 50-yard stripe.
Oops.
Handed off to Jeff Monroe, and Monroe is
Wow.
rolls forward. He's going to be close to a first
Yes,
down.
that'll depend on a spot.
We'll see where they put
I
it
think
down.
that's first, I
Where
think.
they put it there looks like a first down from here.
Ball to the North Haven 47-yard line. We're posting up for a measurement.
We're looking right down that line of scrimmage. Looks like a first down to me from here.
I think so. That's right down in front of our positioning here.
If Charlie Gabauer and Chip Frey stretch out the chains properly, we may have a first down here.
Yeah, and they're very honest duel down there. You know, I always try to see if we could have them maybe wrap the chain around or something like that, or hold it short, but they don't do it. They've been doing it for years.
They may be honest on the change, but don't ever expect either one of them to buy lunch.
Yeah, that's true.
First down for Hand at the 47.
They won't even leave a tip, I understand. All right.
We're rolling down near 4 minutes left before the half. And Hand made up a 1st and 25 after that penalty. Daryl Noble slices through, still going.
Why?
And he's going to get about an 8 or 9.
Let me tell you, did the Noble one hold on to that ball 2 or 3 times. You could see it almost squirting out, but he brought it back into control.
About an 8-yard gain for Daryl Noble, who is a slashing type runner. He hits a hole quickly.
He's a slashing runner like a scalpel, not like a bayonet, though.
And we've got James Kingsley split out wide from his tight end position. There goes Jeff Monroe for a big gainer down to the 25.
At the 41. How about that? Nice job again. Kicking high. Do you notice the way he was kicking nice and high with his legs to keep from being brought down? Woo.
First down to 25.
You know, Monroe is having a good night tonight, too. He's over 50 yards on the night already, as is Noble.
I noticed James Kingsley usually plays tight end, but he split out as a wide receiver, and that's Dan Anderson right up the middle running into a pack of white shirts.
Yeah, he didn't.
He's not going to get much on that run.
Since
About a yard.
we're such a classy outfit, I'll call that a Shakespearean play. There was much ado about nothing. And I know Anderson had much ado, and he got nothing for it.
What do you mean nothing? There was a lot of hitting in the middle of
You
that.
bet. Much ado.
He ran right into some of the big linemen there for North Haven, and they do fill a lot of space.
Milligan will hear this and say, what's Tordoff talking about hairdos for? No, Ryan, it was...
2nd and 9, that's Noble in the backfield, hurdles one man, takes it forward for another 8 or so.
The Noble one, bringing it up close to another first down. Maybe a hair short of that, but... Again,
About a 9-yard gain.
showing his hurdling experience right then, coming out of track. One of the fastest men in the state, as a matter of fact, at the middle school level, medium school level.
They get 2 downs here to make the first down. They got about 1.5 yards to go.
And Bogami in.
Bergami will get the pitch. His tailback
He's got
and
the
got quite a
first
bit of
down.
blocking on this corner. Turns the corner inside
Nice
the 5,
move.
inside the end zone.
Nice move.
Jeff Monroe is down there laying a block ahead of that run. Tim Sullivan makes a good block that Gabe saw down there on that corner.
That is one of those things too. You got to give the sultry Sullivan some real credit on that, because he did a great job.
Hand trying to stretch the lead to 21 with this conversion try. Hunter Morris, the holder. Chris Gavin, the snapper. Greg Walby, the kicker. Good snap and placement, and Walby hits it clear out in the Little League field. 21-0. Hand leads with 1:46 left before the half.
21, North Haven, nothing. A minute 46 left to go in the second period.
Off back to North Haven. Greg Walby will kick it high down the near.
It is high. It is long.
Into the end zone.
Whoa.
Touchback, hits about the 1 and rolls into the end zone. Good yardage
Now
there.
that's the kind of kick that can get college coaches noticing you. When it hits on the 1 yard line like that. Non-returnable. You know, you start looking at some more numbers coming in out there for Hand already, getting first half experience.
I could tell by the expression Steve Sekula met Greg Walby coming off the field, and I'm sure Walby said, I didn't get it all.
Oh, he's a modest one.
North Haven at the 20.
Oh,
Ball's loose on the ground.
Pitch went off the back of the obviously a broken play, because the pitch went and neither one of the tailbacks were watching for it at all.
I don't believe there was anybody looking for the ball to be pitched to them.
It rolled right up the back of one of the men receiving the pitch, which is too bad. That dropped them back another 10 yards or 8 yards, really.
About an 8-yard loss. Ball's now back at the 13.
This is the kind of thing that you make a defense really start to drool.
We're coming down near a minute left in the first half. And I see Kishwala's back in the game.
I was just seeing that too. A little stunting out there.
It's run to the near side. The man cuts back, tackled by Bergami. Made a little yardage, however.
It did. Made a good percentage of that back, but it's going to be third down and a good 10.
Gained about 7. It'll bring up 3rd and 11.
Well, we hope the folks in North Haven are enjoying the game. Even though if we're a little prejudiced to it, we hope they'll forgive us for that. We do have a lot of fun with this game out here and try to have nicknames for the kids and be very positive on it. And we hope it'll kind of encourage North Haven maybe to do the same thing of their own.
And we'll try to get as many of the North Haven players mentioned by name as we can here as we go. This will probably be the last play of the first half. Run up the middle, and the clock is down to 10 seconds and running, so that's going to run out the first half with Hand leading 21-0 against North Haven.
As we start to wind it down, Gabe, do you want to do a little wrap-up for us from the field?
Sure, okay, Frank. I tell you, it's 21-0 here at halftime, as you mentioned, and this seems like an uncharacteristic Hand crowd here this evening. It's a relatively quiet crowd. Maybe because of the cold weather, everyone's sitting on their hands, trying to keep their hands warm. North Haven is having a tough time here tonight against Hand. They seem to be the slower of the team. They're a larger team, but Hand is a little bit quicker. Hand is controlling the line of scrimmage. There have been some miscues in the backfield, a bad pitch, a fumble. It doesn't seem like North Haven's holding the ball as tight as you see like a Jeff Monroe covering the ball with 2 hands. So little miscues here and there. A relatively good ball game. Hand leads 21-0. And we're beginning the halftime program. We're going to sign off pretty soon because the band is probably going to drown me out. We'll throw it back upstairs to you guys if you have any comments before the band starts.
Okay, we will have the Daniel Hand High School Marching Band for the halftime, and then back at the third quarter. To begin the second half, Daniel Hand will kick off back to North Haven. And Frank, we got a couple of statistics here for the first half. What do you got?
Yeah, we have some unofficial ones here. I had Hand running 23 unofficially offensive running plays for a total of 187 yards, of which 10 runs were with Noble for 77 yards, 7 runs for Monroe at 71, 2 runs for Milligan of 15 yards, Anderson 2 runs for 4, and Bergami 2 runs for 20. So anyway, Hand doing some pretty good production and very evenly split between Monroe and Noble on that. And as far as passing goes, it's a little bit off night passing wise. 6 attempts, 1 completion for 10 yards to Walby.
And the third quarter is underway with Greg Walby kicking it clear down to the 10 on the fly, brought back to the 24. North Haven with the ball first in the second half. Daniel Hand High School 21, North Haven 0 in the first half. So we'll see what North Haven can do coming out in the second half. They flip-flop their tight end over the left side. High formation, it's pitched left. It's going to be a sweep left.
Oh.
And Walby is over there on the
Nice.
corner, and Greg Walby makes a tackle
What
behind
a
the line
nice
of scrimmage.
job. The whole defensive line shifted as soon as the play was being read. So they shifted to the right, linebackers shifted right and sliced through. Walby came up from the corner and did a nice job bringing a play down for a loss.
And Josh Stillwell, number 12, was right in on the tackle. And so was Dan Anderson, 38, for Hand. Had that one smelled out. It was a sweep to the left, lost about 3 yards. North Haven splits one man wide to the right, motion back left. They're looking to throw to this man, cuts across, incomplete pass in and out of his hands.
Pass came to J. DeFrancisco, who's a senior.
And there's a flag way after the play.
A late flag on the play.
May have been a late hit by Hand. Naylor came in on coverage there, but he was a little late on it. And he's going to hear about it from the coach.
Yes, he is. Quite animatedly.
That's not the kind of play you like because the pass had already been dropped. Personal foul gives North Haven a first down at the 37. We're early in the third quarter. Number 20, Jeff Knowlton, another sophomore, is playing in the defensive backfield for Hand. With the sweep this time to the near sideline and tackled by Bergami. Met right there by Bergami and Matt Mesa over the top.
Something I saw kind of interestingly that time too, though, was Ryan Conley coming all the way around the back of the pack. I mean, he looked like he was part of the North Haven backfield that time. So North Haven is not quite clicking real well right now. Coming out of the locker room.
They're having difficulty running against Hand. Hand is not as big as North Haven, but they're quicker on the defensive line and the linebackers. 2nd and 10 for North Haven. Handed off from the backfield and tackled by Zach Suppes in the backfield for a loss.
Zach Suppes was not fooled one little bit by that counter play. Really, it was being.
He wasn't blocked over there.
No.
He plays a defensive end for Hand.
Yeah, that was one of those plays where the whole team for North Haven was moving right, but the handoff went to Mike Keniston, a junior, and he took it to the left, trying to get all the motion going one way. He'd come off the other, but didn't.
North Haven has 3 men split wide, 2 to the left.
Certainly is a passing down, no question about it. And they are looking
for
going
number 83 over here. T.J. Naylor knocks it down out of bounds, however. That would not have been good, regardless who caught it.
That's right, but the interesting thing to that was that Naylor knew what he was supposed to do. And that was, knock that ball down.
Okay, we'll go down on the field to sideline with Gabe.
Frank, they've been working on T.J. Naylor all night, Adam Glass. He's 6'1", 185 pounds, and they've been going up against T.J. Naylor for that height advantage, and that was the third pass in his direction during the ball game, and there's a little bit of a height advantage there. I think T.J. Goes about 5'8", 150 pounds, so you could see 5'8" and 6'1". Back up to you guys.
All right, we'll take a break in the action as North Haven has a little confusion and calls a timeout before they get the play going.
Gotta be a punt.
4th down and 12 for North Haven in punt formation. A single receiver back for Hand is Jeremy Friedler, 32. And a left-footed kick, going to hit and roll. And everybody gets away from it. It'll roll dead at about the 33. Hand takes over.
Okay, that was, I'll put it over the mic here. Angelo Romano is a sophomore also. He was the punter that time for North Haven. 5'10", 180 pounds. See if Hand comes up with anything different this time.
They got the same backfield they started the game with. Ryan Milligan at quarterback, Jeff Monroe at fullback, Darrell Noble at tailback, and Ryan Milligan turns the corner. Gets a block by Matt Mesa, who pulls and clear.
Around the left end and knocked that down at the Hand 40-yard line. And we pick up a 7.
Number 29 for North Haven. Do you have a name?
Romano.
Young man?
Yeah, Romano. Now, he was the punter as well, so a lot of their players are going both ways.
About a 7-yard gain on that run by the quarterback keeper.
Mighty Milligan.
2nd and 3. Handed off to fullback.
There's the mountain man Monroe. All right, we got first down out of that, I would think.
Jeff Monroe carries it for first down.
Mountain man doing a nice job. He's on his way, as we said earlier, 71 yards in the first half. Nice yards per carry, average at 7 yards per carry. Not that he'll necessarily sustain that, but there he goes with 5. First carry, second half.
And Milligan hands off to Monroe again. Monroe bulls his way forward for 2 or 3. Tackled by 3 or 4 players for North Haven. I see 45 getting off the tackle.
Ball carrier, brought down by Mark Malloy for North Haven. A gain of 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Well, it is cool down here for the evening, but you might expect that on November 1st, Ken.
Jeff Monroe has had a good game carrying a ball for Hand. Pitch this time to Darrell Noble, and he's trying to turn the corner. Cuts back,
Oh, man.
turns the corner.
Oh, he's out.
He's out of bounds at about the 37.
Yeah.
It didn't look like that play had any place to go. There were a lot of white shirts, but he got through them.
I can't believe the way he sidestepped and high-stepped and low-stepped and I don't know, whatever number of steps you can do, he did. He made his way. The Noble one. Cruises for about a 14-yard gainer.
First down at the 37 by Darrell Noble. He gets that, that's Hand's patented toss play. They toss it to the tailback deep in the backfield, and he picks up his blocking and runs off with the blocking ahead of it. And this same play to the right. He breaks one tackle, and there goes Darrell Noble.
He's moving.
All the way to the end.
Oh, man.
Darrell Noble,
35, 6, 7.
37-yard run.
That puts him over 100 for the evening by far, substantially.
That's his first big one, though, isn't it? He's had several that are around 10 to 15.
10 and 15 several times. Monroe had the big one for this game so far at 31 yards. So the Noble one breaks through. It puts him about 120 on the evening.
Takes Hand's lead up to 27-0 with Walby trying the conversion. A little bit of high snap, and the kick is off to the left. I think he made it. He made it. I thought he kicked that one to the left.
A line drive.
That was a good job of putting the ball down by young sophomore Hunter Morris that time, because the snap was a little high, hard to handle. Put it down, and Greg Walby line drived it through.
For the 50-50 raffle,
And leading North Haven 28-0 with 7:49 left, third quarter.
4, 6, 5, 1, 8.
Frank, before we have this kickoff, we might mention, we haven't mentioned Nick Ricano, co-captain, who's one of the men on crutches on the sideline. With a short high kick by Walby, fielded about the 19. Tackle missed down there by Kingsley, but he slowed him up. Tackle made it to 28.
Boy, that's one of those almost rips your arm off when you grab on like that.
Nick Ricano is probably out for the rest of the season with a leg injury. One of the co-captains for Hand, and the other man on crutches here was the other man on crutches down here is Steve Yanko, who is out for the season with a leg injury also.
Yeah, that's too bad because Steve's young sophomore, a big young man. Could have really used this year for conditioning and learning the game. Nick Ricano, one of the state's best wrestlers. Matter of fact, one of New England's best wrestlers. So we hope he rehabs in time to get back on the wrestling mats.
There's a super defensive play there by Dan Anderson, who makes the tackle.
Excellent
Shot
pursuit.
the gap and made contact behind the line of scrimmage. Held it to a short 1-yard gain.
Being helped out there by Special K. Again, they're giving him limited service as we predicted early on as far as Special K goes. But he's looking a little bit stronger, a little bit more in the flow of things.
We know that North Haven has had a lot of injuries, but Hand has had a few significant ones
Yes, they
too.
have.
Kishwala is back from his leg injury. Dan Anderson was out for 2.5 games with a separated shoulder.
Oh.
And he's back playing well. That tackle was made by Hunter Morris.
Hunter
who
Morris.
Came up and protected the corner.
He could get a couple points for a takedown on that one, the way he did that thing.
Hunter
Very well.
Morris is going to earn his letter tonight, I think.
Yes.
He's been the holder. He's played quite a bit on defense.
I want to mention, I did talk to Viral Kishwala's dad at halftime a little bit, seeing how he's doing. He said, well, he's doing pretty well and very anxious to get in there, as you can well imagine. After practice, kind of limps a little bit, but comes along fine. So that was from his dad.
They're down and 6, a run to the left, and it's man breaks through.
Oh.
Good run over on the far sideline. Should have a first down. Finally tackled by Andy Elting.
Brian DeConcilius had a real good shot at him, but kind of went at him a little bit too quickly out there. But that's one of those kind of rookie mistakes. Brian's only a sophomore also, but he went a little bit too quickly, and the man able to do a little juke on him and take it up.
That was a good run.
Yeah, that's
North Haven.
Keniston, Mike Keniston, who's a junior. He'll be back next year.
And we're also getting some substitution by Hand. Dan Brand, number 7, is into the game for the first time. Run up the middle, and that one's going nowhere. Matt DeConcilius meets that ball carrier.
Yeah, the doormat.
DeConcilius with Anderson right on one side and Elting, I believe, on the other.
That was the doormat really taking hold out there and stomping all over him.
He's the biggest player Hand has on the field.
He is.
And the ball carrier ran right into him on that one.
Matt's a little bit one of those gentle giants until you get him out there and warmed up a bit.
2nd and 10 for North Haven.
Ooh.
Pass play across the middle, in and out of the hands of the receiver, incomplete. Aimed at number 83.
Yeah, that pass was there. It's one of those that they really have to take if they want to get some momentum in, but that was Stillwell just about to hit him anyway, I guess.
Josh Stillwell.
Probably wouldn't have gone very far with it. Although there's a little bit of a size mismatch out there between Adam Glaze and Josh Stillwell.
Jeff Knowlton is playing a corner here for Hand, and he's covering 2 receivers.
Yeah, I hope somebody covers for him.
That looks like a screen pass set up, and it is a screen. However, Hand smells it out, and a good defensive play by Hunter Morris.
All right. The Hunter Man. We'll call him the Deer Hunter.
He's the backup quarterback tonight and playing quite a bit on defense.
Just for anybody at home, the Deer, that's spelled D-E-E-R, not D-E-A-R. You don't want to think any funny things out here.
The deer hunter? Is that?
The deer hunter,
Okay. Fourth down play for North Haven.
as in the
Punt
animal.
formation.
Okay, punt time.
Jeremy Friedler, number 32, drops back for hand.
Good lacrosse player.
Another sophomore. Good snap. And left-footed kick. Good high one.
Oh,
Hand's going to get away from it.
I
And it
hope so.
bounces backwards for...
wow. Got 5 yards of bounce back.
He didn't get a good roll on that kick, and it went clear back to the 39.
Yeah, it wasn't. That's one of those that the son of a gun. I took it the same way I always did. Why did it bounce back on me?
I see Jeremy Friedler is in the backfield for hand for the first time, it looks like.
Chris Gavin's going in to do the hike, the hiking chores as Taylor comes out.
And Mike Hominick is in there at a wide receiver. He's the punter for hand. Pitch deep in the backfield. There's a flag down. Friedler takes it to the 45, but that flag was in the hand's backfield.
You know, I think Hand right now is playing with only one senior on the field.
That was a clip against hand. That play will come back.
That'll move it way back.
The penalty is accepted and will bring the ball back to the end 26-yard line.
Woo.
It'll be first and 25.
Well,
Last time they had first and 25, they ended up making it and taking it all the way down for a touchdown eventually.
true. That's true. Never say die, but a little different mix in the field right now for Hand, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that.
Jeff Monroe breaks through, and Jeff Monroe picks up
Almost the 15.
about
huh?
15 of that.
Yeah.
That's a little more makeable now. I bring up second and 10.
15 big yards up the middle. Brought down by Angelo Romano.
I don't remember if Jeff Monroe has had a 100-yard game before
I don't-
this season, Frank,
yeah,
but
I don't
he
believe
should have
so.
it tonight, shouldn't he?
Yeah, he's getting close.
There's a run by Sean Manley.
Oh, Shawnee Manley. Don't even have him down.
5-yard gain. Number 40.
5 yards we'll give Sean on what I have unofficially as the 30th carrying play of the game for Daniel Hand, but nice job. Got out there, get on the board, get in the stats.
And Sean Manley plays quite a bit for Hand on defense as a sophomore, but he doesn't get a chance to he didn't get a chance to play offense much. That play is going to be stopped in the backfield. Bergami is stopped about a 4 or 5 yard loss, it looks like.
Romano is stopped in the hand back.
Good defense.
Sorry, I was saying that Ryan Conley might have been the only senior in there, but that wasn't quite true. Hominick and Milligan were in there, but definitely a whole lot of underclassmen getting an opportunity to get their pants dirty tonight.
Mike Hominick will drop back in punt formation on 4th and long.
Drops back in front formation.
Well, you know, it's certainly a tough position for the North Haven folks to be in out there, but they held Hand to 4 and out.
Low kick and takes a big bounce, fielded about the 22. A lot of black shirts there. And a short tackle is made by, who is that? Number 40. Manley, Sean Manley.
Yeah, like I said, it's really kind of tough when you're down 28-0 in the third period. But the Indians out there for North Haven are still doing the best they can, and they held Hand that time to really no extra plays at all.
James Kingsley, number 42, inside linebacker, calls the defensive signals for Hand. Plays tight end on offense. He and Andy Outing are the 2 inside linebackers. North Haven with the run to the left side.
Oh, yeah.
Not much there. Somebody thinks that ball's loose, and there's Kingsley comes up with
He
it.
comes up with it, and you can
James Kingsley recovers a fumble. I didn't see the ball hit the ground. but
Yeah, I saw the scramble. I didn't see the ball actually go, but a nice heads-up work by Kingsley to recover that baby. So Hand takes over then on about the 38-yard line of
Hunter Morris comes in to quarterback for the first time this season. Sophomore quarterback getting his first varsity experience taking snaps.
Yeah, he wouldn't. He's a little familiar with Chris Gavin because Chris has been doing some JV work with him.
Handed off to the first man through the fullback right up the middle.
I didn't see who that was.
Sean Manley.
Manley again.
Number 40, and I see they've got Vero Keshwala getting a chance to play a little offense too.
Okay, very good.
He does limp a little bit though when he runs.
Yeah, you can see that. Saw him when he's coming off in defense too. I was going to make mention of that. The cold's got to affect that sort of an injury also. When it's still, no, not even when it's still healing. You can feel an injury like that for years to come.
Hunter Morris, you can see brought it down. There's a flag down. Morris takes it down to about the 31.
Right in front of the fans. He's going to like that one, Hunter is. Even if the play comes back.
That's a holding call against Hand.
Hunter comes down, has the smack of the pads right in front of the fans down there, and you heard the fans say, ooh. Of course, the young ladies will like that.
I don't believe there are any starters left in the game for Hand. I do see number 71. Who we got there, Frank?
John, oh boy.
Gerzib.
I'm embarrassed about that. Sorry, John. He's a sophomore. Like seeing him in there. We'll take care of that another game, though.
Second and 19 for Hand.
Okay, we got Hominick in at flanker.
Hunter Morris hands it off to Sean Manley.
Oh.
And Manley, a big hole. Sean Manley.
He's motoring.
He's going to be out.
Way!
Sean Manley takes it in.
45 yards for the sophomore, Sean Manley. Oh, is that right? Oh, we were just past some information here that Sean Manley's mother's birthday is today. How do you like that?
Yeah,
Not only that, but
didn't we also learn that we won't say her age, but it pretty well matches John's number.
I would say it's plus or minus 0 of the number 40. But
Greg Walby, and the flag is down on the conversion try. Kick is good, but let's see what the flag was.
yeah, we'll let Gabe know a little bit about that. Kind of ironic, we were just told, Gabe, that Sean Manley's mother's birthday is today. Now, we're not going to say how old she is, but she's plus or minus 0 from his number. I was saying that Sean Manley's mother's birthday is today, and it's plus, we won't say how old she is, but it's plus and minus 0 from his jersey number.
Oh, okay. Also see it on defense. Like we're going to see Matt DeConcilius going in and playing for Matt Mesa in the center for a while. That might be things to come for next year. Wallabies kick. That's deflected, and it's good. It's good. They're going to call it good. Just got over.
Greg Walby with a 25-yard extra
Back
point.
upstairs to you guys with 36 seconds left to go in the third quarter, and Hand leads 35-0.
That kick after the penalty was a 25-yard extra point that just barely made the crossbar, but he's 5 for 5 tonight on extra point.
The sophomore team at Hand basically has it to be able to make some headway out there.
Greg Walby set the kick up again.
Ooh.
Another long one. Be fielded at about the 3-yard line on the fly. And Kingsley brings him down at the 16.
Oh, he fended off 2 or 3 blockers trying to nail him out there as the runner was trying to hit the wedge, and it was amazing. He actually kind of sidestepped through the blockers, got in there and did a nice takedown. Did the Kingsley man.
James Kingsley, he's the shortstop on the baseball team, and he plays tight end on offense and football. He plays middle linebacker on defense, and he's a wedge buster on kick.
That's really neat.
First down for North Haven at the 16.
Ooh.
Run to the left for about a 2-yard gain.
Now that number I don't have on my roster down here. Number 45 for North Haven. Oh, don't have that number down. Sorry, we can't give that young man the...
That's the end of the first quarter.
Third quarter runs out with that last play. We have
Let's,
4 more minutes with Hand leading 35-0.
Let's send it down to Garrett down on the field for a little third quarter wrap-up, Gabe, if you can come with us.
Sure, Frank. I tell you, 35-0. We're beginning of the fourth quarter. We're going to see a lot of ball players for Hand in the ball game, as I was saying a little while ago. And especially on defense, you might see with Captain Matt Mesa graduating, Matt DeConcilius will more than likely
Sorry, Gabe, but we're not getting you on that.
alongside Kishwala. So we might see the defense in the future.
Sorry, we're not catching him on that. There's something wrong with his mic setup, I guess. So we'll cut it away for the end of the quarter. Take a
For 89, they're pass in the flat and about a 15-yard gain for North Haven. Very good defensive play, or offensive play.
Shot by a host of Hand players.
We'll try to pick up the rest of the Hand players that are in the game. Sean Ryan, another sophomore, is in for the first time on the line. 71 is John Gerzib. Run this time to the right, and he's got a little room to run. Hunter Morris brings him down after about a 2-yard gain.
excellent open field tackle for Hunter. Jim Thistle just went in.
Number 79, Thistle in the game.
Another sophomore. All these sophomores that you see out there right now, I don't know any of them.
And we got one.
Well, what we just told Gabe to do, folks, at home was get a new battery in his high-tech gear down there.
And a good cut.
Okay, I got the new battery in. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. I get in the okay upstairs. As I was saying before, we're going to see a lot of ball players in this game with 10 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the final quarter. Hand leads at 35-0. And I've got my roster here. But I was saying before, the defense has a new look, which we might see the starting defense for next year with Matt DeConcilius and Kushwala anchoring the middle with Captain Matt Mesa, the senior, graduating. I'll throw it back up to you guys here for the call of this play.
Okay, first down for North Haven. A good run over the right side. Tackled at about the 48. We have number 88 in there.
Don't have him on the roster.
Well, he's a freshman.
Oh, that's correct.
I can't remember.
Oh, that's correct.
We'll get his name.
It's Vinny.
Vinny is his first
Vinny
name.
Badalugo or something, but I'm sorry. But Vinny's in. Vinny, baby, number 88. We got also
He just made the tackle.
Benevento. Okay, we also have Ryan Supinox in.
3 for North Haven.
And I believe the safety out there is...
Sweep to the right. And bounces off a tackle. Goes forward for a good gain. First down for North
That
Haven.
was Vinny making the final tackle out there, I think. And closely followed up by number 26, Bob Dominowski, who's a junior. He's out there doing some chores. Coming off the field is John Palesser. John's a sophomore. He came out after a couple of reps. And North Haven getting a little bit of an offensive push going right now. Kent.
Good run to the left, tackled by 79 there for Jim Thistle makes the tackle.
Jimmy the prickly one, I guess we ought to call him, huh? Jim the prickly one. He's probably one of the biggest players out there. Looks like Chris Gavin's in too, giving him an opportunity to play some defensive end out there.
There are no starters still in the game for Han.
Probably a good call.
Second and 3 for Han. It's pitched deep in the backfield, trying to sweep the left side. And he gets down to the 30. That's close to a first down.
Nice job, Brian DeConsilius.
About a yard short of a first.
Yeah, nice job. I mean, he was blocked very, very well by one of the pulling guards for North Haven. And it was a very good pull by North Haven, but Brian fended off the block and able to do the takedown on the tackle. Again, I'm very sorry we don't have number 45's number, because he's getting an awful lot of workhorse duty down there, and we can't give him any name credit, but he knows who he is.
He's a good player for North Haven.
He really is. And again, a lot of young players out there for North Haven. First down.
Quarterback sneak, first down. Good call, gains about 3 yards.
Well, 45 is Nicolella, we are told. Nicolella.
First down for North Haven at the 27. We've got a little over 7.5 minutes left in the game.
Significant drive.
Quarterback still got it, rolling to the right. And now he shot puts it across for a first.
Oh, coughed up and intercepted.
And fumbled and picked up by somebody back there by hand. I think it was caught in the air when it was fumbled.
Yeah, I
That
think
was number 20 for him,
yes,
Jeff
yes.
Knowlton.
Jeff Knowlton. He used his lacrosse stick to pick that one off, I think. Reached right down, scooped it off. That's what they call man ball. Man ball in lacrosse.
And takes a timeout before they go on offense to get all the rest of their players in the right places.
We should do that. I like to.
Hunter Morris pitches off to Dan Brand, who swings it to the right, doesn't get anything, loses a couple yards.
Kushwala coming off, and he is limping. You can see that. Good to take him off now, not let him injure that anymore, or tire to weaken it.
Jeremy Friedler is in at tailback. He's handed off to the fullback.
And it's going to be Manley, I think.
Sean Manley.
And off to number 40, Sean Manley. Picks up about 3 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 9 for him.
Rand Supernaut into the game. Brings a play. Chris Gavin over the ball at center. Hunter Morris is the quarterback. Sean Manley at fullback. And Jeremy Friedler at tailback. And a flag is down.
Flag on the play prior to the snap.
Well, that's probably going to be a defensive, no, offense. How about that? Offense 5-yard penalty. What you're seeing here, of course, is a little bit of a group of players who don't really play together that much, the way they're subbed in and out as far as this varsity contest goes, man. So you're bound to get some of those. Supernaut flank way out left. Oh.
Sean Manley carrying the ball again. 4th and long for him. We've just passed 6 minutes left in the game. Mike Hominick back to punt. Good snap. And that one, he got off the side of his foot, but a good roll.
Oh, get a very good roll.
Roll down to the 48.
Well, good starting field position for North Haven. And they have been substituting in some different players as well, but they're still putting the major part of their first string in there. I mean, no team likes to get shut out if they can help it. And so they kind of feel like they deserve to get on the board with a touchdown. Now, they've got a new quarterback in there, Kent. I noticed number 25, Jeff Kuroga, is in there. He's a sophomore, 5'11", 188, so he's taking over the quarterbacking chores. He was in the last series, too, by the way.
And Hand was primarily a sophomore team, and he's going to throw long. Incomplete pass out in no man's land.
Well, Bob Dominowski was really well positioned to maybe intercept that ball, but being relatively new out there, being a sophomore, he was really playing his position as steadily as he could to make sure nobody got in there on him. But he'll have a little more flexibility as he gets to learn the field a little bit.
Dominowski, Dan Brand, and Jeff Knowlton are the three deep men for Hand.
All sophomores.
In fact, most of the team out there are sophomores. Got one freshman.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dan Brand is a junior. Oh, nice ball.
Almost tackled, but a first down and the ball is
Ball's down.
fumbled. Ball is in the air. North Haven recovered.
Well, I'll tell you, though, very interesting. Andy Alting was the one who almost got him behind the line of scrimmage, and he got up and was trailing the play a little bit and almost did get the recovery of that fumble.
Andy Elting does play a lot, but it's almost always on offense.
Yeah, he's one of those very, very significant off-the-bench type of guys that you have, and really, really very valuable to a team at this stage of his career. To be able to come in and play multiple positions, giving the starters a blow out there.
First down for North Haven. Quarterback still got it. Now he's going to look to throw across the middle, and it's almost caught. Dropped. That was a good pass, right on the numbers down
Excellent, excellent pass, and he knew he was going to get drilled by Brian DeConcilius, who had him teed right up and actually put his helmet right in his belly, but after he'd gotten rid of the ball, excellent job. Quarterback looks very, very good. And again, his number 25, Jeff Kuroga.
Second and 10 for North Haven. They're trying very hard to get a score on the board here, and they're being pressured, thrown away. And
That's the prickly one.
The pressure there was by 79, Jim Thistle. Tackled the quarterback.
All right, everybody. Gabe wants to have his word in, so we'll throw it down to you, Gabe.
Frank, before the ball game on the pregame show, Coach Philippone said that this is an important night for the seniors because it's the last home game for them underneath the lights. It's very important to them, and it's nice to see they played well, and they're going to go out with a victory for their last game at home under the lights here at Strong Field with 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the ball game. And as Dan Brand makes a beautiful tackle, they're all fired up down here on the sidelines with 4:11 to go. They lead 35-0. Back up to you guys.
And Dan Brand, all 120 pounds of him, makes that tackle.
What a classic tackle. That was almost a Rudy type play out there. All right, Dan, baby.
Dan Brand is twice as big when he gets his uniform on.
Love it, Dan, baby. Dan branded the other player. That's what he did.
That'll bring up a fourth down and a long 6 for North Haven. And these young players for Hand's defense would like to keep the score 0 on the other side. There's a flag down and an interception by Hand. A flag is on the field. I didn't see who caught that one, did you?
I think it was.
Might have been Andy Elding, I'm not sure.
I think it was one of the guys with the spandex on. I saw Rob black legs, so it was either going to be Hunter Morris or it was going to be Brian DeConcilius. Probably Hunter Morris from that position, I would say.
The infraction was against North Haven. Yeah. Hand will take the interception.
Yeah, it was a holding call trying to protect the quarterback, and you will get holding on those cases. Exactly what happened.
We're down to 3.5 minutes left. Hunter at quarterback. And it's pitched to Jeremy Friedler.
Oh, Jeremy, dig, baby.
And Friedler trying to turn the corner, but a good tackle made by the defensive man there.
And Jeremy get about 5 yards on that.
29 for North Haven. Oh, we got a flag down on that play.
Going to be a hold, probably.
Do you have a name on number 29 for North Haven, Frank?
Let's see.
Made a good defensive play on that.
Romano, Angelo Romano, the punter. You're right, that was a good defensive play.
Beat first down, 1st and 25 for Hand.
Oh,
Dan Brand breaks through. Gains a few yards. Seven or 8 yard gain for Brand. Second down now and about 18.
yep. Well, they've been here.
Morris pitches to Friedler, who fumbles it in the air but recovers.
He kind of played with that a little bit, but he finally found the handle that was on it, I guess.
Number 77 there for North Haven was right in there on the tackle.
Yeah, you're not going to get away from him. That's Tony Mass. He's 200-pounder. And he'll be back next year, too, I believe. Yeah, junior.
Well, I believe we have a timeout by North Haven before this next play, which will be a 3rd and long for Hand.
Oh, the band is sounding good now, Kent.
3rd and long. Hunter Morris at quarterback. Hands it off to Dan Brand.
How about let's sing some of the young kids in the student body down here. They cheer on their team. Last home game under the lights for Daniel Hand this year. Boy, these seasons go by fast, don't they?
Hey, we got 3 more games, just that they're not here at night.
That's right. Now we got one more night game.
Mike Hominick into punt.
Well, next week
we're
should
down
be-
to 148 left.
And next week we should be at East Haven at night on Friday night, aren't we?
Hominick gets a
Oh,
line
nice
drive and backs up the receiver clear back to midfield, and he's tackled at the 45.
The sultry one, Sullivan.
Sullivan in on
On
the
a
tackle.
takedown.
And Hunter Morris right there, too.
He's pretty soon, within a few more weeks, he's going to have to watch out. He can't play that way when he's on the basketball court. Remember, that's a non-contact sport, basketball.
Hunter Morris is getting a few bruises tonight.
He
He's
sure
in on a
is.
lot of plays.
Baptism under fire.
North Haven will try one more time to get on the board with 1.5 minutes left. And Hand has had their starters out for almost all the 4th quarter. Shotgun formation, a left-handed quarterback.
We'll
Number
hold it.
14 there for him. And it's picked off by Hand. That looks like 26 is the
All right,
interceptor,
Dominowski.
Dominowski.
All right. Love seeing those stats get wrapped up with new names in them. And we get a chance to practice them now, Kent. As Dominowski's going to be around for a couple more years after this.
And we'll be content to let the clock run at this point. Hunter Morris just wedges it right up the middle.
Well, as we're wrapping this up, I was talking to one of the soccer co-captains, Sarah Ellis, at halftime, and she says they play here tomorrow afternoon for one of the state championship playdown games. All the Hand teams have done very, very well this year, I think. But the field hockey team is state ranked, and both soccer teams are. It's been a great season for them all.
Hunter Morris will probably just hang onto the ball. He takes a knee this time. He'll have to do it one more time, I believe. We will wrap up this game very briefly as soon as it's over, Frank. Maybe we can catch a few of the players down on the field. Hand is going to win this game 35-0. A very good effort. You had Daryl Noble for something like 125 yards. He did not hardly play in the fourth quarter.
That's right. Hardly on the third, even, for that matter.
And Jeff Monroe, almost 100 yards. Very good ground game for Hand. They didn't need the passing tonight.
Now, we'll let Gabe know, too. Gabe, we're going to be coming down on the field to do some field interviews with some of the players.
Clock is running, and that will be the last play of the game. I'll end it quickly on the top of the scoreboard, or the press box. This is Kent Sprague with Frank Tordoff, Gabe Bossamer down on the field. Steve Fust has got the camera for the fourth quarter. Paul Sprague had it earlier. The final score is Daniel Hand 35, North Haven 0. See you next week.
Down on the field, do some of our interviews tonight. Now, this handsome gentleman in front of me is a man you never see. Number 75, Chad Taylor, as the center hiker on all the plays. Chad, what do you think of tonight's game?
I think we played a pretty well game. I don't know, we played pretty well. I'm happy with the shutout.
Do you get to see much from your position as center?
No, not usually. Usually the only time I get to see it is during the films on Monday and Wednesday nights.
Okay, any bumps and bruises this year?
Just a little scrapes, not much.
Kind of cold and hard to handle the ball tonight?
Yeah, it was cold, but we did what we had to do.
Well, look, you sure did. Congratulations on a great game, Chad.
Thank you.
We'll see you at the food party. Outfield, Sully, what's your speaking and telling us about the game tonight?
Thought we came out a bit flat in the beginning, but scored some points, got ahead a bit early, and then came out strong in the third quarter to win.
It sure did, and the other team looked like they were pretty big out there, but was it a matter of us being a little bit quicker than they were, or what do you think about that?
Quicker, and also from the schedule that we've played, I think we're accustomed to playing against the tough teams, and just came out and banged.
It looked pretty darn good. Everything seemed to click real well tonight.
Yeah.
Good. So, what do you think about your senior year now, and probably the toughest season that Daniel Hand has ever played?
I think it's a good challenge. Just sees how good your team really is.
Hey, what kind of plans are you looking forward to next year, or are you even looking forward to next year?
No, I am. A few schools on my list. University of Vermont, Providence, whatnot.
Okay, all right. Well, good luck. We'll be seeing you in a few more games here, and it'll be a little bit warmer inside.
All right.
Okay, we'll see you guys. This little guy that's standing next to me here is what we call Special K. He does eat his cereal in the morning, as you can tell. But how's the leg doing for you there, Special?
It's feeling great. I'd love to be back and play the game again.
We noticed you're limping a little bit, though.
It's still a little sore, but I'm just getting in there and getting the rotation, so I'm getting my strength back.
I noticed you were doing some pretty good defense out there tonight. It must have felt great.
Felt great.
Okay, well, look, really glad to see you back again, big guy.
Thank you.
Keep it healthy now. Yep. Captain Matt Mesa, you see him down there all the time. Number 52, Matt. Tell us about the guys and how they did tonight.
Well, offensive line just started off the game. Snapped down, got off the ball. It was great. And we got out at the halftime, and after that, it was all over.
Okay, how about on the defensive side of the game?
Defensive side, our backs really stepped up. They had to lead a pass, and we got together, made tackles in the second half, and that was it.
One of the things that a captain has to be aware of too is all those underclassmen. They got a lot of time in out there tonight that they really did well. Anybody you'd like to mention particularly?
I think it's real good for especially the underclassmen for the offensive line. They can get in there, they get some work in, and plus Hunter Morris. He came in on quarterback, did a good job for either, and Manley had a hell of a run. Went for a touchdown.
Didn't he, though? Huh?
That was great.
Manley was looking real good, and he's going to be a tough hombre out there, I'd say, in the years to come, right?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Matt. Appreciate it. See you at the pool party. Okay. Well, board, right at the end of the game here, 35-0, Daniel Hand over the North Haven Indians. And Hand played well. You saw the interviews from everybody. These young men that we did come here, everybody very happy about. They seem to have a lot of good teamwork tonight, Gabe.
They sure did, Frank, and they, as Matt said, they were a little flat, or Sullivan, so they came out a little bit flat, maybe expecting the victory, and got it together at halftime, came back 35-0. Next week they play at East Haven, then we go to Hill House, and we're back here Thanksgiving Day morning, which probably might be a little balmy, I hear, at the end of November to close out the season. So far, basically they played a very good ball game, and I was thinking on the sidelines that North Haven was like North Haven was playing the Cheshire of their schedule, and they were racked by injuries. And I talked to their head coach earlier today, and I said he's like Colonel Potter. There was like the mobile mass unit. He did not know he had more problems on the bus here. He had a player get sick prior to coming out to the field, and he had to adjust his lineup once again. So they had no cohesiveness with their ball club, players playing in different positions each game. And you could see that they were a little slow and a little tentative.
Well, an excellent game from Daniel Hand. A lot of young players get a lot of good time in as they start to turn the lights out on us here. You can see a lot of nice jubilation around here for Hand. As we said, a lot of young players getting some significant varsity time in. Always bodes well for the future. So for the Madison Cable TV crew, we'll say goodnight.